Aloha Ecamm fam. Today I want to show you the real simple workflow that I use. I mean the actual workflow that I use in order to crank out the Flow podcast as soon as we're done shooting. Now, let me show you this. It's going to be a real simple process. I'm going to try not to get too detailed, but of course, if I miss any steps or you don't understand something, let me know in the comment section below and we'll come back and maybe we'll dive deeper. But let me just give you a brief run through. First thing I'm gonna do is turn on live demo mode, and then I'm gonna pull up the finished files because once we're done, we record it in Ecamm, and I see that I have my camera A, and then I have my camera that has guest 1, which was Katie, which is right here. Then I have my guest 2, which was Paul, which is there. And then I have my Zoom active speaker, which right now is showing Katie, but sometimes you'll see Paul. But reality is the main file I need is this one right here. This is the Ecamm one. I'm going to quickly rename this The Flow. And if I remember correctly, this is episode 126. Let me take a quick look at my notes, make sure we're naming it correctly. I should have this already done, but you know what? I do crazy things. So there it is. Yes, this is The Flow, episode 126. So let me go ahead and close this out the way. So I just want to name this The Flow, episode 126. And the naming is up to you. It really doesn't matter. Episode 126. Now, here's what I do before I go in is mine is going to still be called main microphone here because that's what the main microphone is, but I call it doc, actually the flow doc, and then I do 126. Okay. And then I'm going to copy this, and then I got Katie here, and I'm going to replace that and then say Katie. So this is her audio file because it's a podcast. It's very important. And so I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do Paul Gowder. Now, the reason why I put Paul's whole name but not Katie and myself, because me and Katie are in every show. All right, so now I got my file set up. This is all we need to do. I use Final Cut. You could do this in DaVinci. This ain't going to work with like iMovie. I know some of you guys use the script. I'm just showing you how I do it in Final Cut. It's really just that simple, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is let Final Cut pop open. All right, I'm going to make a brand new project. New. Just hit here and press Command N to make a new project. And I'll say The Flow. And then I'm going to do 126. I'll come back and rename this later. Right now, I'm going to put it in this folder here. I'm not doing vertical. I actually want to do the thing where Final Cut kind of just automatically pulls the settings. So I'll set that guy for automatic settings. And all I need to do is press OK. There's my file. I'm going to bring in the video footage and drop it on the timeline. Okay. I'm going to take my microphone and drop it on the timeline. I'm going to take Katie's microphone and drop it on the timeline. And then I'm going to take Paul's microphone and drop it on the timeline. Okay. Of course, I'm going to line these guys all up so that they match. And then here's where the fun happens. I'm going to right click on this area. I'm going to go to my audio roles, and you see I have an audio role called Flow Doc. I'm just going to select that. I have an audio role here that says Flow Guests. Actually, that one was for music. Last week, it was just myself and Katie. I'll fix that in a second. So I'm going to right click on Katie's. I'm going to go to my audio role, and I'm going to say Flow Katie. And then I'm going to add an additional audio role. So I'm going to go up into my menu, and I want to say modify, assign audio roles. And I'm going to say edit roles. And I thought I had a flow guest, but I guess I did not. So I'm just going to add a role, and I'm going to say flow guest. And then I will select a different color because I don't want it to be too close to Katie. So let me press this and let's pick. Oh, see, the problem is they have limited color palette, but we're going to run with this one, because I'm probably not going to use the music right away for this. Okay, so now I can go ahead and select on pause, and I will do audio roll, and I will set it up for flow guest. Man, where in the heck did you go? Oh, I guess I didn't save it. Oh, you're so dumb. Let's do this again. All right, I'll say apply. So now I can right click on this guy, assign the audio role, and then I'll do flow guess. All right, so now I have these three. So let me move this out the way, and I want to get to the part where we restarted. And I'm going to chop this beginning off. Actually, this is fine where I started today. Let me check the beginning. That's fine. Then I'm going to go all the way down to the end. Floats!
See you next week.
Okay, so I'm going to take this Katie feed off. She said something and Paul said something at the end. I just wanted to end with me.
Thanks.
Take it to the fade out. All right, there you go. It fades out. So I'm going to pull that there. I'm going to tuck this in. And now, here's the fun part. Okay, so I'm going to put these guys together. I'm going to highlight the bottom three. Okay, so at this point, I want to export these files. If you go up here to the top, you'll see where it says export file. You can also reach that from the menu here where I can do share and export file. But I'm going to say export this file. And I'm going to go to settings and I'm going to select audio only. And I want wave format. Then I'm going to go over to roles. And where it says wave here, I'm going to select the part that says audio only as separate files. I don't need this master one at all, so I can get rid of it. And that way you have the Doc, the Katie, and Paul. And then I'll go ahead and say next, and I'm going to let it do its thing. So it wants to put this on the desktop, and I'll say save. If you click the little bubble up here, it's going to show you what it's doing. Okay, now that's done. Let me go ahead and move Final Cut out the way. And then you'll see right here on the desktop, I have these files. Okay, so now I'm going to go to Chrome and I'm going to go to Auphonic and I'm going to go to a new production and I'm going to do a multi-track production. Actually, let me back out. I want to create a new multi-track production. Okay, so I actually have a preset set up for this, but I want to teach you as if you don't have a preset. So I'm going to choose the first file. And then I'm going to go grab one of these guys from the desktop. So let me start with the doc file first. Okay. So I'm going to put that there and I'm going to say send it. In my filtering, all I want is voice EQ. My studio is clean. I don't really need noise reduction, but I'll tap it on anyway. And I'll do remove noise to low, remove reverb to low, and remove breaths to high. It's just because I don't want to inside there. Under my advanced leveling, I leave everything basic except for I select speech track. And then you can select foreground, background, or auto. I tend to just say foreground track. Then I want to add an additional track. Oh yes, let's name this. Under this track one, I want to say the Flow 126 doc. All right. That's the name of this track. And I'm going to highlight the whole thing just so I have it. I'm going to go here. I'm going to add this and change this to Katie. You guys notice I always drag the cap lock key. Okay. And I'm going to add a file here. And I'm going to select Katie. And then, unfortunately, you have to do this every time. Auto EQ, noise reduction for Katie. I just like to do it at low because I don't want it to be too noisy. But I remove the breaths and I put that on high. Then I go to advanced leveler. Everything is the same except for I turn it into a speech track. And then I'm going to say foreground track. And that's just so that it doesn't duck the sound, right? If somebody's talking. On this one, I'll go ahead and paste that and I'll put Paul. All right. I'm going to choose that file and I'll select Paul. I realize I typed it wrong, but that's okay. Noise reduction. Now, if you're working with a guest and they just got a noisy studio, you can add a higher number here. Paul also was relatively perfect as far as his audio setup, so I don't have to really mess with that too much. And then I'll select foreground track. Okay, so this is all good. My output format, in this particular case, I do want to add speech recognition, so I'm going to choose Auphonic Whisper. And then one more thing that I want for my output, because I'm going to put this back into Final Cut, I want to add an output file. In this case, I'm going to say I want a WAV file and I want a 24-bit WAV file because this is what I'm going to do for my show. So I'm going to put the flow 126, and this one is podcast to email. All right, cool. That is it. Everything is there. I click on automatic chapters and show notes, and then my output file, again, I'm using a default leveler. I have adaptive noise gate. I'm going to remove any mic bleed, which we don't have in this particular case. So I can make it process faster if I turn that off, but I'll turn that off. And then I'm going to leave this at auto, and I'm going to leave dual mono out of it, and I'm going to put dialogue loudness because that's what we want. I'm going to leave auto cutting off, and I'll just say start the production. Now it's going to grab these files and upload them, and I'll let it do its thing. All right, it looks like it's done now. So let me go ahead and download the file. I'm gonna just need the main wave for right now. I'll download that. I also can pull down the transcripts, which I'm going to send to Caleb, but let me go back into Final Cut real quick. I'm going to take all of these and I'm going to turn them off using the index lane. Okay, so now I'm going to click on this file right here and pull in the wave file that we want, line it up. I like to right click on it and set the audio roll to Auphonic. That's for my own brain. But see how nice and even that is versus the top? So now I can pull the top down and I'll just check into lip sync real quick.
Wipe folder, my little save folder ID.
Lip sync is perfect. Now all I need to do is render this file out, which is going to take a minute, right? But this guy is ready to go. So I can just export this and of course I'll fix it properly. Boom. All I need to do is save this, save it out. It's going to be a big file. You can see it's cooking at 17 gigs. That's just me because I like to push 4K. I'm a weirdo. But that's it, my friends. That is all you have to do in order to make that situation work. I just rename my files. And again, a lot of that is maintenance work that you do to make it easier on yourself. You could literally just grab the 3 files and drop them on the timeline and call it a day. In reality, the way that Auphonic works, it's so good. In theory, if all of your levels are relatively even for the people talking, you could just process the master file and touch nothing else, and it will still work just as good. I like to use the individual microphones because I think it just does a little bit of a better job. It takes a little bit more work, but it's a very simple process. It's very easy to do, and I wanted to show you how to do it right here for the Ecamm fam. So, of course, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, something you got stuck or you do something a little different, you need to find a better workflow, let us know down in the comment section below, and we'll do our best to get back to you and show you an even better way. But right about now, the algorithm is going to show you another video you think you should watch. Go ahead and check one of these out and let us know what you think.